Good morning, it's Friday the 12th of December. Thousands of people are still without power in parts of Scotland and northern England, 7 nights after Storm Arwen battered the UK. 15,000 properties are waiting to be reconnected in the northeast and northwest of England, as well as the northeast and south of Scotland. The ongoing situation has been declared a major incident by Durham County Council, which has called for more resources to support residents, and in Scotland, the Army has been trapped in to have the recovery efforts in Aberdeenshire. Tim Murphy takes a look at how people are coping. Aberdeenshire Council put out an urgent request for military help. That help has now arrived. Around 4,000 homes will be visited to support those struggling in the aftermath of Storm Arwen. The infrastructure is pretty fragile. The weather hasn't helped. The high winds that came yesterday have further weakened some places. But we're hoping that it gives them that sort of reassurance that somebody is looking for them. Doris is a nurse and lives near her father in Northumberland. She still has no power, no water, and no internet. I'm sleeping in here, which isn't ideal, and eating what I can in here. Boiling pounds of water on the log burner. You know, you can only take so much. Do you know what I burst into tears? I'm not ashamed to say. Joanne is now relying on a nearby community center along with her neighbor Anne. I feel that we're just being left out and forgotten about. I'm more worried about the emergency services. Because where we were, there's no signals, no need to have somebody need an ambulance. How are they going to get hold of it? In County Durham, a major incident has been declared, which means more support should be on its way. It seems that we will have assistance from government. We are for assistance. We hope the Army will be brought in. We've been out of power since last Friday. We're still out of power for another 4 days. That we know of, so it'll be well over a week, but we were so out of water for 4 days. Oliver has completely disabled bees. 2 of his siblings are also disabled. His family are currently having to stay in a hotel in Northumberland. It has been a living nightmare. It just feels like something, a disaster movie. You know, having all that massive storm line literally of 200-mile-an-hour winds, and then the aftermath. No, I just want to go home. Power has been restored to Lauren and David's home, but they must wait until it's warm enough to return to. 1 week on, and thousands are still feeling the impact of Storm Arwen. Tim Murphy, BBC News. In the last few hours, the Conservatives have held on to their common seat in the Old Paisley and South Carpine election, but with a significantly reduced majority. It was called following the death of James Proconsher, who died from cancer in October. Our political correspondent Irene Wells joins us from New Paisley. I only need a significant result, isn't it? A smaller majority. That's exactly right. I mean, this has always been a really true blue safe Conservative seat here in Paisley. I'll move now in terms of the result that we had today. This obviously, as you say, followed the death of the Conservative MP James Proconsher. Now, in terms of what we've seen happen overnight, the majority from the Conservatives still held on to pretty comfortably. They still get more than half the votes here. The newly elected Conservative MP Lewis Friend paid tribute to his predecessor James Proconsher as he did his victory speech early this morning. And first of all, I'd like to pay tribute to my good friend Jan Prokashar, who represented this suit for more than 10 years and who fought for the people of Ovesin. Sit up every single day, he makes an enormous impact on everyone who lives here. And as your member of parliament, I will work tirelessly to build on everything he achieved. I can't put into words how much the support of his wife, Kathy, has meant to me during this campaign, and her strength and bravery throughout has been inspiring. So the Conservatives have held comfortably onto the seat, but there was a tense win to Labour. Now turnout in primary elections does tend to be a lot lower than is in general elections, but its one was exceptionally low. Only 34 of registered voted. This turned up to vote, and that means that the Conservatives made majority of 19,000 was cut to just about 4,500. Was, as I said, about 10 swing to Labour. I think Labour are pretty encouraged by this result. They argued that were it a swing to them to have happened in some of the more marginal seats around the UK, that could mean them seeing gains in other parts of the country. But I think the Conservatives are also pretty happy to still very comfortably hold on to this seat. And now for them, all the efforts are going to be focused on defending another Conservative seat of in North Shropshire, and the party election there in just 2 weeks' time. I only thanks very much only Wales Forest there in Paisley. 42 cases of the new Omicron variant of coronavirus have now been identified in the UK now. This comes as a new research from the University of Southampton suggests that booster vaccines may offer good protection against the variant. Simon Jones has more. This, the government said, is the best response to the new variant. The vaccination program with a new try to deliver more booster jabs. A team at the University of Southampton says there are promising signs that booster could handle Omicron and would to offer good protection against illness. Experts believe it's too early to say whether Omicron will be more dangerous than other variants. We have some reason to believe it could be serious, but what that means in terms of the consequences for the pandemic and the potential need for additional control measures is not yet known. I think we've done the most important thing, which is accelerate the booster. In South Africa, the scientists who first identified Omicron are racing to unlock its safeties over the last week. The daily number of new COVID infections has increased fourfold. It seems those who have already had other variants, the new variant of coronavirus may not be protected against Omicron, and hospital admissions are up slightly, but mainly among the unvaccinated. The new variant has now been detected in at least 24 countries, according to the World Health Organization, including in several states of the U.S. We have the best tools, the best vaccine in the world, the best medicine, and the best scientists in the world. We're going to find this vaccine with science and speed, not chaos and confusion. Germany, in a grip of the Delta variant, has announced major new restrictions on people who aren't vaccinated. They be banned from bars, restaurants, and non-essential shops, and vaccination could be made mandatory by February. The fight against the pandemic goes on. Simon Jones, BBC News. The oil giant Shell has pulled out of a controversial development in the west of Shetland, despite only 30% of Keppel oil field. The company said the economy case for investing wasn't strong enough. Climate activists had criticized plans, argue no new oil and gas projects to be developed. Fraudsters had stolen billions of pounds by abusing the government's bounce-back loan scheme. According to a new report from the National Audit Office, more than a third of loans may never be repaid, costing the taxpayer up to £17 billion. Our correspondent Angus Crawford has this report. A hard stop. Police arrest a drug dealer, a member of Manchester gang that used a front business to hide their crimes. And this is it. It's from a couple of porter cabins. They plan to take over the local coin market. But what's really astounding is they managed to get a £25,000 pack loan to have their business through the pandemic, and they were the only ones. It's a power-paid loan application that's been approved for £50,000. Last year, this undercover investigator showed us how criminals were set up fake companies to exploit the system. It seems to be free money for scammers. It's going to cost us billions. Well, today we allow a brand new loan scheme for the smaller businesses, designed as a lifesaver for small firms. More than £47 billion were handed out, but how much of that will legitimate firms ever pay back? It's going to be honest, it's a nightmare. It's not me, I'm worried. I asked the government to set up a helpline. Then I've got the repayment starting, and a lot of people simply have not bounced back, which was the whole idea of the scheme as soon as they are due. I have to contact my doctor about having some antidepressants. I haven't been able to properly sleep for the last 20 months. £50,000 seemed like a lifesaver for Anne Mary and her pretty firm. It does feel like a milestone. The bounce back loan is hanging there over our heads at the moment. At the time, I guess I have two choices. We either take on a loan and carry on and try to just ride through the storm, or we close the doors. But the storm isn't over. Well, there is a thing just about darling, I think. Loans that keep hundreds of thousands of firms alive became a dead weight for others and a cash cow for criminals' angers. Crawford, PBC News.